gathered friends, listen again to our legend of the Bionicle. In the time before time, the great spirit Mata-Nui gifted we, the Matoran, with 6 elemental guardians, and a perfect island home that we named after the great spirit himself. But our happiness was not to last, for Mata-Nui's brother, the Makuta, was jealous of these honors and betrayed him, casting a spell over Mata-Nui, who fell into a deep slumber. The Makuta was free to unleash his shadows, tainting and corrupting the island's Rahi, and unleash them he did. Rahi is a Matoran word that can be roughly translated to mean wildlife. The term encompasses creatures of the land, air, and sea. Rahi come in all different sizes, shapes, and danger levels. Some are not very bright and rely on instinct. Others are almost frighteningly intelligent. The first thing anyone who seeks Rahi must know is that you cannot assume all of these creatures think and act the same. Respect the power of Rahi. Understand that the smallest creature may be the most dangerous, while the largest may simply wish to be left alone. If your goal is to simply avoid being attacked, use common sense and be prepared. You will travel with our 7th island guardian, Takanuva, the Toa of Light, to find the source of the Makuta's power and stop him from contaminating any more Rahi. Welcome to Mata-Nui. I am Takanuva, Toa of Light. This is the great temple, Kini Nui, where I was transformed from Matoran into the 7th Toa. This is also the last place the Makuta was sighted, so it seems fitting that our journey begins here. We'll travel south through Le-Wahi, and maybe we'll be able to save some Rahi along the way. Le-Wahi, the largest and most lush section of Mata-Nui. The thick jungles are perfect hiding places, and the treetops house many Matoran and Rahi. If you don't end up getting tangled in the thick shrubbery, you might get lost in the hilly terrain or trapped in the many swamps. There are a lot of swamps in Le-Wahi. It's hot, humid, overgrown, and generally not at all pleasant. But the native Rahi don't seem to mind. Many of the Rahi that live in Le-Wahi are short and bug-proof, perfect for bulldozing through the jungles. While some simply rely on bulk for protection, others come armed with spikes and clubs, ready for a quick defense, although most of the Rahi here are peaceful, preferring to flee rather than fight. It does not seem like the Makuta's influence is very strong here. Let's journey north to Ta-Wahi. Ta-Wahi, a charred and seemingly desolate place, but it was once my home. Much of Ta-Wahi's structure is determined by the Mangai volcano, whose rivers of lava cut through the bleak terrain. The forest you see here was once lush and green, but was burned during a battle with infected Rahi and left in a desecrated state to earn its new name, the Charred Forest. One more reason to stop the Makuta's infection of Rahi, I suppose. The Rahi that live here are more vicious than the ones in Le-Wahi, and they have to be. Their home is tough to survive in, from experience, I know, and they have to be tougher to live here. Some Rahi, like these Hikaki, are sleek and adaptable, with the ability to swim through lava like it were a cool river in order to escape predators or hunt down prey. Other Rahi are large, with thick protective skin, shielding them from the intense heat, hunting in the shadows of the charred forest. A seemingly perfect place for the Makuta to establish his lair. But even though I traveled around the island often, I know Ta-Wahi like the back of my hand, and I can assure you he is not here. Let's continue north to Ga-Wahi.
So, the 7th Toa believes he can stop me. Well, perhaps some of his former friends can change his mind. Go, my my servants. Relieve this pest of his misguided, self-appointed duty.
Look out! Oh no, these poor Rahi. The Makuta's influence is strong here, but I still cannot find his lair. Let's continue on our journey. I'm sure we will find it elsewhere. Ga-Wahi. These are actually the marshland plains surrounding Ga-Wahi. You'll need a mask of water breathing if you want to visit the more inhabited places. There is not much to these plains. They've remained pretty uninhabited compared to most of the other areas on Mata Nui. However, Makuta's influence on the local wildlife has forced some of them into strange new lifestyles, like these massive creatures here. They used to swim the seas, as large and graceful as razor whales, but have been forced onto land, trading their fins and jaws for legs and horns. I don't know if stopping Makuta will return these beasts to their proper place. They may be like this to stay, but regardless, we have a mission to complete. Let's continue north to Po-Wahi. Po-Wahi. There are a lot of deserts here in Po-Wahi. It's not quite as big as Le-Wahi, but it's still pretty sizable and probably harsher to live in. Although there's not much to Po-Wahi besides deserts and canyons, it's still kind of nice to observe, if the local wildlife don't get you first. The rough and rugged Rahi of these deserts come in all shapes and sizes. Some are built low to the ground, with huge body mass, lots of spines and spikes, and big appetites, despite what little food grows out here. Some are sleek and slim, built for speed, and out here in the open with few obstacles, they can go pretty fast. Toa Pohatu would be impressed with some of them. There are not many predators out here, mostly herbivorous Rahi, but the hunters that lurk in the shadows of the rocks are vicious, and as the former chronicler, I've heard many tales of some brutal attacks. So let's hope we don't run into any. We are at the northernmost section of Mata Nui now, so let's head west to one of my least favorite places, Onu-Wahi. Tunnels. Onu-Wahi. Dark. That's about the best word to describe this place. From above, it does not look like much, but this dark area makes up most of Mata Nui's underground. Tunnels and caves abound, essentially connecting the entire island via underground carved highways. Of course, if you don't have a light stone, or happen to be the Toa of Light, you won't be able to find much down here because it's so dark. The Rahi know this and have adapted perfectly. Some Rahi fly in and out of the caves depending on the time of day, while some fly around exclusively in the many mines that line Onu-Wahi's interior. However, some predators hunt best in the dark, and several strange creatures have emerged from years of hiding in the wake of Makuta's reign over the island's wildlife. These creatures are exposed to the new world for the first time. They are scared, hungry, and possibly corrupted, so we best keep a watchful eye and a mask of light over our shoulders. Let's use these tunnels to head to our last chance of finding the Makuta, Ko-Wahi.
The shadows. A place of refuge, strength, and power. If this fool will not heed my warnings, I will show him the true power of the dark. Go, my minions. Use the shadows and your unity to stop this menace once and for all.
Oh no! This is getting out of hand. These creatures don't deserve this. We need to find the Makuta's lair. Soon. Ko-Wahi. I still think they should have named it Cold-Wahi, but my opinion was never highly favored. Anyway, there's not a lot to Ko-Wahi. It's a lot of frozen mountains, almost as cold as those who live here. The Matoran keep to themselves, and the Rahi even more so. There are lots of solitary predators in Ko-Wahi, hunting in the snowdrifts or between the ice-covered mountains. Some are rather small, preferring to ambush unwary passersby, while others are huge and can get away with pretty much whatever they want. It's probably best not to hang out here for too long. The colder we get, the hungrier they get, and I'd rather not face off against the frigid monsters that live around here.
Oh, again disrupted by this irritating light, shattering my perfect darkness. Very well, Toa of Light. I have no shortage of unwilling servants who will happily bring you abruptly to your destiny.
But it looks like I'll have to. That's it. Makuta, your time of hiding in the shadows is done. Kini Nui? We came all the way across the island just to wind up here? Strange. I was so sure we'd be able to find the Makuta's lair if we searched across the entire island.
So, Toa of Light, I see that you are capable of holding your own against the best beasts of this land. But how long do you think you will survive against me?
Makuta! And so it is done. The Rahi are free. We are free of the Makuta's dark influence. So there you go, guys, the island of Motunui and the amazing Rahi that live there, as masterfully transferred into the Carnivores style by the legend himself, Po-Wahi. I'm not sure how many of you guys know this, but I am a huge fan of Bionicle. I have been since 2001. The first Bionicle I ever got was Toa Onu-Wahi. I collected the Lego sets, the books, the movies, the comics, the video games, everything I could. And just knowing that Po-Wahi created a Carnivores map based on Motunui fills me with joy. This is actually a rather old creation of Po-Wahi, one of his first ever custom-made maps. And even though it's one of the first maps he ever created, I still think it's extremely fun to play on. This version of Motunui is filled with sound clips from the Motunui online game, as well as a few custom elements, like the Kini Nui temple's decorations and some Motunui stones scattered around the island. I never got to play much of the Motunui online game myself. I was always more into the toys, but I've always loved the soundtrack, and the music of Bionicle in general, and hearing it pop up around the map and just knowing that I'm walking through Ta-Wahi or Ko-Wahi just brought back so many nostalgic memories of the Bionicle franchise. And then, after creating the island of Motunui itself, the next step is to fill it with creatures, and Po-Wahi masterfully created some custom Bionicle skins for the Dinosaurs of Carnivores, as well as a Makuta pterodax skin, based on his Mask of Light appearance for the Yeti. These creatures look so amazing, like the perfect mesh of biomechanical tissue that Bionicles are made of. How amazing would it be to see these creatures as actual Lego sets? A Carnivore's Ceratosaurus or Parasaurolophus, built out of actual Lego Bionicle pieces. Oh, that'd be so cool. Anyway, as it stands, these skins are amazing, and in true Carnivore style, really immerse players in the fantastical world of the Bionicle. I hope you guys enjoyed the different format for the showcase. I had a ton of fun getting back into the Bionicle terminology for it. And if you want to hunt on the island of Motunui for yourself, I'll leave a link in the description for you to download it and try it out. And guys, thanks as always for watching. All of the likes and comments and just general feedback you guys leave on these videos is awesome, and this community is so fun to be a part of. I am having a blast doing this, and I hope you guys are as well. And we're almost at 2,000 subscribers. That's crazy. Thank you guys for helping this community grow. I do it for you guys and for the legacy of Carnivores. Thanks again for watching, guys. You are all truly the best, and I will see you guys next time.